Why, good morning, Meta Z.
What? Who said that?
Me!
Who the hell is me?
Your tapeworm.
Tapeworms can't talk.
Well, I can because I'm a magical tapeworm.
What the heck was in that meat I ate last night? Gotta think about it. Either way, can you please get out of my body?
Haha, no.
Why?
I want to learn how humans work, so I'm reading your mind.
Get out of my body now or I'll rip you out!
You won't do that.
Okay, read my mind and tell me that.
Whoa, okay. Tell you what. If you do a parasite month, I'll leave.
Alright, it's a deal. But which parasite should I start with? I got it! When people hear the word parasite, they usually think of a tick, flea, louse, or tapeworm. However, there are a group of parasites known as brood parasites that most people tend to look over. What are brood parasites? Well, a brood parasite is an animal, usually a bird, that makes another animal raise its offspring instead of raising it on its own, usually at the cost of the host bird's offspring. One of the most popular brood parasites is the common cuckoo, so let's go in depth on the most popular aspect of this bird. The common cuckoo has a large list of hosts. It has been reported that nearly 300 birds have the common cuckoo as a parasite. The common cuckoo's strategy for getting its egg in the nest is simple, yet difficult. The goal is to remove any egg that is in the nest, even those of other common cuckoos. Once the egg is removed, the female will lay an egg similar in size and appearance to the eggs of the host. But this raises a question. How does the common cuckoo have so many hosts, yet is able to mimic the egg of each? Well, for starters, the common cuckoo is a gen animal. For those who don't know, a gen animal is a parasite that has exclusive genes made for a certain host species. Now, while gen-specific genes are understood, how they are passed on is in question. One hypothesis, as shown in the paper Genetic Evidence for Female Host-Specific Races of the Common Cuckoo, suggests that the females have evolved genes made specifically for a certain host species, leading to different races of the common cuckoo. The evidence supporting this hypothesis is that they have differences in their mitochondrial DNA, but not in their microsatellite DNA. Another hypothesis is that the genes for egg mimicry isn't on the Y chromosome at all, but is instead carried in the autosomes. In the paper Genetic Differentiation Among Syncretic Cuckoo Host Races, Males Matter, it goes over how the father might be just as responsible for the egg mimicry of a host species as the mother is. Even though the common cuckoo is good at disguising its eggs, the host birds will get better at distinguishing their eggs from the eggs of a parasite. This leads to an evolutionary arms race, a constant battle to see if the host can remove the parasite or let the parasite take over the nest. If the host doesn't notice that there is a cuckoo egg in the nest, then the chick is set. Thanks to their mother's ability to hold in an egg for 24 hours and let it incubate before laying it, the cuckoo chick can hatch before the host chicks do. The common cuckoo egg takes 11 to 13 days to hatch. Once born, the common cuckoo chick will begin to evict the eggs. The reason for why they evict the eggs isn't really clear. One hypothesis is that these chicks evict the eggs in order to get the full attention of its host. If not, the chick won't get the nutrients it needs in order to grow properly. This hypothesis is presented in the paper Feud Acquisition by Common Cuckoo Chicks and Rufous Bush Robin Nest and the Advantage of Eviction Behavior. This hypothesis is contested, however, as it has been shown that even with competition, the bird is still able to grow to normal size. Now, the most bizarre thing about the common cuckoo is that despite the host's willingness to destroy the parasite egg, they will easily raise the chick. This is because of the common cuckoo's chick's ability to sound like a whole clutch of chicks all by itself, manipulating the host's sense of urgency. After 17 to 21 days, the common cuckoo chick will be fully fledged. The cycle begins again 2 years later, when the bird reaches sexual maturity. Though parasitism is the most interesting aspect of this bird, there is more to this bird than just this. Common cuckoo belongs to the family Cuculidae, or as they call it in layman's terms, the cuckoos. This is also the only family in the order Cuculiformes. This order first evolved 34 million years ago. Now before I go on, I should mention not every bird in this family is a parasite. Only 56 species are. The common cuckoo belongs to the genus Cuculus, which has 11 species. Now within the common cuckoo are 4 subspecies. Another interesting tool past their ability to force other birds to raise its kids is their mimicry. The common cuckoo is similar in pattern to the sparrowhawk. This advantage allows the common cuckoo to scare off other birds. This is made evident in the paper Cuckoo Hawk Mimicry, an experimental test, in which the birds at feeders will fly away once they see a common cuckoo in flight. But the question is, why did such a pattern evolve? Well, it is quite possible that this pattern evolved in order to make it easier to close in on a host nest, or as a form of protection. That's pretty much it on the common cuckoo's evolution. Just one more thing to go over. I will be throwing the common cuckoo's diet into this section because there isn't much to it. The common cuckoo's diet consists of insects, including hairy caterpillars, an animal that most birds aren't willing to eat. The common cuckoo spends most of its day looking for food, as most birds do. But what most people don't know about common cuckoos is that they are actually social animals, though this is mostly during the mating season. Any other time, these birds tend to be solitary. According to this paper, the common cuckoo has been known to argue with each other, probably squad roasting. Okay, in all seriousness, these are male birds arguing over who gets to mate with who. Or they're yelling about, him picking a cheaper character in a fighting game. I yell about that too sometimes, it's normal. Even though the common cuckoo is a deadbeat animal that makes other birds raise its children, the common cuckoo is still a pretty bird. Anything that gets poems written about it has to be pretty, right? The common cuckoo is a weird result of evolution, but one that we should keep looking into. Well, I'm MetaZ, and remember, pay your child support. Well, this is here to tell you that you should like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I also have a Facebook and Twitter if you want to follow those as well. Alright, that's pretty much it. See ya.